All right, guys, we've made it to the Chapter 7 test, last test before spring break. So excited. So I wanted to go over, I'm not going to plan, my plan is to not go over all of these. My plan is to go over a few of them because they kind of repeat themselves and I don't really necessarily think that's necessary. So I'm going to start with the first page. So for numbers 3 and 4, they ask you to find the scale factor, and they ask you to find the scale factor a specific way. So you have to pay attention to how it's asking for the scale factor. So this one wants the scale factor of figure A to figure B. So that means that a side from figure A has to go on top, and then a side from figure B has to go on bottom. So it doesn't matter what side you pick. So I'm going to go with 36. Of the two, it's the longest. That's going to correspond to the longest side given here, which is 20. So 36 over 20, gives me 1.8. You can change that into a fraction, and you could give me 1.8, or you could give me 9/5. That's how you do scale factors. This one wants the scale factor from B to A. So you would put one of these sides over this side. Number 5, I'm only going to do number 5. 5 and 6 are basically the same exact thing. For number 5, it wants you to find the value of x. So when you are solving for a length or solving for anything on these, you set up a proportion to cross multiply. So this side has an x. So I'm going to start here, 4x minus 23. And then I have to figure out what side that corresponds to on this triangle. So this is side KJ. KJ, first and last, corresponds to VU. So 2x plus 2 equals. So I went left over right with how I wrote my fractions. So I have to go left over right. So I'm going to do 25 over 20. Then cross multiply. Make sure you are showing all of your work, please and thank you. So cross multiply, 4x minus 3 times 20. You do 20 times 4x, which gives you 80x. 4x times negative 23 is negative 460. Equals, cross multiply here. 25 times x is 50x. 25 times 2 is 50. Not 25, 50. I said 50 and I wrote 25. So to solve, I'm going to subtract 50x, and I get 30x minus 460 equals 50. Add 460. Now we're just doing simple algebra. 30x equals 50 plus 460 is 510. And then divide both sides by 30. 510 divided by 30, and you get x to equal 17. And it's the same idea for number 6. So just make sure you match up your sides and kind of go from there. Let's take a look at number 7. And it does seem like I'm jumping around, but I just don't want to bore you too much, and I want to keep this as short as possible. But if you need me to go over this one, just get a hold of me. So for number 7, again, you are solving for, in this case, it does want you to find the length of KL, but in order to find the length of KL, you have to solve for x first. So we're going to set up a proportion. So x plus 11 is side EF. EF is middle last. That corresponds to KL, which is 6x plus 3 equals, and then I come back to, I went left over right with how I wrote my fraction, so I have to stay consistent. So do 10 over 25. Again, cross multiply, and you get 10 times 6x is 60x. 10 times 3 is 30. 25 times x is 25x. 25 times 11 is 275. Subtract 25x. And you get 35x plus 30 equals 275. Subtract 30. 35x equals 245. And then divide by 35. And you get x to equal 7. Really ran out of room there. So as you can see, there's a lot of work to be shown, a lot of places that you could go wrong. So please make sure that you are writing all of these down. Take your time, as much time as you need, or really like you can handle. but whenever you are solving, you are going to set up a proportion. The next chunk is probably what's going to take me the longest to get through in terms of me talking through these. And these are proving triangles similar. So I'm a little concerned for these because, like I said, even with the quiz review, all of your assignments have been multiple choice. And so I think some of you are just clicking until you get a green dot. So in order to do these, you have to check for either angle, which only has angle measures. Side is when you're going to set up the side lengths, and you should have 3 side lengths given per triangle, or side angle side. Side angle side is used when you have 2 side lengths given and then the angle in between. So like for number 11, we have the angle right here, which are vertical, and we have 2 sides, angle in between, 2 sides, angle in between. Now we can't just say side angle side. You have to check to see if side angle side works. If you write side angle side with no work at all, the problem is going to be marked wrong. So you have to have the work to back up your problem. So to show side angle side, you have to match up the sides and see if they reduce down or divide out to the same thing. So this side 15 is the smallest of these two. That's going to correspond to the 21. And then 28 corresponds to 39.2. Divide these out. 15 divided by 21 is 0.714. It's a junky number. 28 divided by 39.2 is the same junky number. So because these reduce down and they do have the angle in between, these two triangles are similar by side, angle, side. This is my work. This is my reason why. Notice I didn't just jump right straight to it. And then you can match up your sides. Triangle PKM is going to be similar to triangle LQM. Okay, let's take a look at another. So for number 12, notice here I have 2 triangles going on. I've got this one. I've got a triangle within a triangle. So this triangle, I'm only given 2 angle measures. So I will probably have to find the third. That's what we feel like we always have done. And then the other triangle is ABC, and I'm given the 98, I'm given the 47, and then I'm missing the angle B right there. So they both already have the 47 degrees in common, so there's one. In order to use angle, which is the one that I'm hoping for, I have to have 2. So this triangle ABC has a 98 degree angle. This triangle CDE has a 38 degree angle. So I'm going to need to find this third angle to help me out with that, to check to see if I can get 2 of them to be the same. So to figure out what this third angle inside that triangle is, I'm going to take 47 plus 38, and then 180 minus that number, and this is 95. So these two are not the same. So these triangles are not similar. And then you would put that triangle is not similar to any other triangle. So that's not angle. We tried to make an angle work, but it doesn't. For number 13, you have 3 side lengths, so we are going to try to get side to work. Again, in order to get side to work though, we have to have all 3 sides proven to reduce down to the same thing. So I like to go smallest to largest. So on this triangle, 8 is the smallest. That corresponds to the smallest over here, which is 10. Next largest is 9. That corresponds to the next largest, which is 11.25. And then the longest side is 12. And that corresponds to 15, which is the longest side there. Now you're going to divide all of these out. 8 divided by 10 is 0.8. 9 divided by 11.25 is also 0.8. 12 divided by 15, winner, chicken dinner. They're all 0.8. So because they all reduce down and there's 3 sides, these are similar by side. And then you could write the triangle similarity statement. Angle R is in between the smallest and the middle. So the angle that's in between the smallest and the middle would be angle A. Angle Y is in between the middle and the largest. Angle D is in between the middle and the largest, and that leaves us with E. That's how you can write your similarity statement. For 15, we have 2 sides and an angle, so we're going to try for side angle side. Again, you can't just jump to it, you've got to set up your fractions. So in between the 32 and the 30, 30 is the smallest. That's going to correspond to the smallest side here, which is 44. And then 32 is going to correspond to 48. So then you divide them out. 30 divided by 44 is 0.681 repeating. 32 divided by 48 is 0.6 repeating. They are not the same, so these are not similar. And this triangle would be similar to none, or not possible, something like that. And then 16 is the last one. And again, we have a triangle within a triangle. So we have this triangle KNJ that has one side length of 32. And then this side length, we can find it by taking 45 minus 9, and we get this side length to be 36. That's about the only reason they give you that 45. Then we have this triangle RNV that has a side length. Actually, this is why they give you the 45. This side length is 45. This side length is 40. So then they do share that angle N. So you're trying for side angle side because they do share that angle N. You don't have all three sides, so you can't use side, side, side. So let's start matching them up. On my yellow triangle here, the two sides I have are 32 and 36. 32 would correspond to the side on the other triangle of 40. And 36 would correspond to the side on the other triangle of 45. So divide these out. 32 divided by 40 is 0.8. 36 divided by 45 is again 0.8. So these two triangles are similar by side angle side because I showed my work. You have to show that. And then J will match up with R. K will match up with V. Oops, R, V. And then N corresponds to N. All right, so these ones, like I said, I'm really the most concerned with these because I don't know how many of you really took the time to learn this. There was a lot of just pressing buttons until you got a green dot. So hopefully you see these are going to be worth a decent amount or a couple of points each, not just like 1 point for side, side, side. We're going to be looking for your work as well. The last ones are the ones that we just got done doing that you took a quiz over, and you're solving for an unknown, so you will have to set up a proportion. So for 20, you would do x over 18, but you need to know what this side length is because x and this side, when you set up your fractions, you have to know. That's why they give you the 28. 28 minus 21 is 7. So you're going to go x over 18 equals 7 over 21. And again, cross multiply, and you get 21x equals 126, and then divide by 21. And you get x equals 6. You cannot mess these up if you stay consistent with how you set up your proportions. So just be careful. 21 is the same idea as that. So just with pluses and minuses, but we did those on the first page. 22, now you have the parallel lines, but again, stay consistent. X over 40 equals 14 over 32. Cross multiply. 32x equals 560. Divide by 32. And you get x to equal, you did good at decimals, totally fine, 17.5. And then 30, this would be like your angle bisector. So this over this equals this over this, which you have to find. 34 minus 18 is 16. So you would do x over 18 equals 40 over 16. Cross multiply, and you get 16x equals 720. Divide by 16. And you get x equal 45. So that's how you find those lengths. The last problems here are dilations. Dilations, I personally thought would have been the easiest part of this. Dilations are you taking your scale factor and multiplying by every single number. So here's your vertices or your points. Take the 3, multiply by every number. You get negative 12. 3, negative 6, 9, 0, negative 6, negative 15, and negative 6. That's it. That's your answers. You're going to do the same thing here, except you're going to divide every single one of these by 2. We will be holding a Google Meet tonight, so if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please make sure you show up.